What's going on, everybody? Austin here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the recap of the exciting Tampa Bay versus Los Angeles Rams divisional round game. So, start off with both quarterbacks threw for a ton of yards. Matthew Stafford threw for 366 yards, rushed for 6, and a touchdown. Tom Brady threw for 329 total yards. Stafford ended up having 3 total touchdowns in this game, no turnovers. Brady had 1 touchdown thrown in this game. That was that deep shot to Mike Evans to bring him within 7. He did have a fumble and an interception, though. The final score, rather, 30-27, is so much closer than it needed to be. So much closer. Going into the half, I believe the Rams had the ball on like the 2-yard line with like 40 seconds left, and they were getting ready to go up. If they scored the touchdown, I believe they were going to go up 34-3. But instead, they fumbled the football, gave the Buccaneers a deep field goal attempt. So they're only up 27, or not 27. My bad. They were going to go up 30-3, but instead the score ended up being 24-6, which somehow wasn't good enough. In this game, a lot of records, a lot of crazy things happened. Like I said, 4 total fumbles. They gave up a touchdown, gave the Buccaneers 14 points for the most part. Cooper Kupp had 183 receiving yards, which set an NFL record for about a day. And it was Tom Brady's last NFL game. Now, like I said, I had predicted this game to go, my final score projection was 31-15, which is probably what it should have been. But like all Tom Brady teams do, they find a way to bail him out from having a terrible game, and they made this look respectable. One thing I really want to highlight is Matthew Stafford playing maybe managing the game against the Arizona Cardinals, but then he really rallied in this game, because if they lose on the road to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, history is only going to remember Matthew Stafford couldn't get it done. Matthew Stafford choked a lead. Nobody's going to remember that Cooper Kupp fumbled twice, that Cam Akers fumbled, and that the center snapped the ball over Matthew Stafford's head, right? But in the end, Matthew Stafford, despite everybody around him trying to lose that game, he rallies. There's 43 seconds left on the clock. He goes, and to his team, he says, "I want to go snatch their soul." The first thing that happens on that last game-winning drive that he goes out there, he goes out and he gets sacked. 36 seconds left on the clock. They have to use their last timeout, right? Now that right there would have been a perfect time to be like, you know what, we're gonna play for overtime. We can't get it. But instead, what Matthew Stafford does is he connects with his favorite target on this season, Cooper Kupp, for that nice sideline pass to get out of bounds and up. And then the next play, Cooper Kupp is running what they call for the love of the game route, which basically what that does is his job was supposed to run deep and over and pull all of the deep safeties and the cornerback and a lot of the attention away, because what they were going to do is they were going to take a couple more sideline passes to get close. But when Stafford saw that Cooper Kupp was getting single covered with no safety over on his side, the safety was on the other side, wasn't going to be able to help. He saw that Cooper Kupp had gotten past his defender. I believe it was Antoine Winfield Jr., a safety who probably shouldn't be guarding Cooper Kupp one-on-one. Stafford bombs it, connects perfectly right in the gut. And if you're a Detroit Lions fan, you recognize what was happening as Stafford was running up. He's running, screaming, "Clock it, clock it." You knew from that moment, as soon as that ball was caught, the game was over. Stafford runs up, clocks the football, 3-4 seconds left. Matt Gay runs out, kicks the game-winning field goal. It was an amazing game, right? Start to finish, amazing game. You can't highlight enough how much Matthew Stafford has flipped the script on his career. He was 0-3 in the playoffs going in to this season. This is year 13 for him. And just in this season, he's 3-0 in the playoffs. Now, I'm not going to say it was all Detroit, because Matthew Stafford didn't perform well in those playoff games. but he performed well enough that if this Rams team was on any of those Detroit sports games that they were playing against the New Orleans Saints or the Seattle Seahawks or the Dallas Cowboys and the refs versus the Lions, Matthew Stafford would have won those games as well. But nonetheless, this is the final game for Tom Brady. The GOAT retires. I love seeing Matthew Stafford send him into retirement, but it was a great way to go out. Very, very Brady-esque, being down and out, almost completing the comeback, which, I mean, you know, if it would have been truly Brady-esque, his team would have gotten like 2 pick sixes and everyone would have given Brady the credit, but that's neither here nor there. It was a fantastic game. It was one of the best games of this year, especially in the playoffs. Fortunately, don't know what happened here. Well, we're back. It was one of the best games of the playoffs. Unfortunately, it was overshadowed by the next game that happened, I believe, the following day, Kansas City versus Buffalo, which, another spoiler, if you're Cooper Kupp, that NFL single game receiving record didn't last very long. But let me know what you think about this game and what you think about each individual performance in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next side.